Hello, I'm your guide, Star Guide. As a top laner in League of Legends, you want to be able to see your opponent, pick them off, and pull out the perfect counter to win the game with ease. In this guide, I'll show you the easiest and most powerful counters for all top champions. Please note that I'll not be covering difficult champions like Fiora or Irelia with counters. They take too much practice and are difficult to play. The counter only mentions easy and simple champions like Malphite. If you know how to play a difficult champion like Irelia, you know what you can counter. You can figure it out on your own. It would take too long to get in-game footage, so I'm just going to use words. All the key details are in the video, but I'll cover each champion in more detail in additional videos if there's a good game to use as an example or if you request it in the comments. I'll go in ABC order. Exclamation points are a particularly easy and strong recommendation counter. This will be split into multiple videos due to length. Aatrox is a tricky opponent. It's hard to beat him in melee, so it's easiest to beat him at range with basic combo resistance. Neeko is a good ranged counter, and can use her W speed to dodge chains and her clones to block chains. Aatrox's charge can also be countered by Neeko's binds and ultimate, making it easy to beat him. Vayne can be beaten with her short cooldown tumble, condemn knockback, and ultimate stealth. Malzahar is a bit of a surprise. Passive stops him once, Voidworm stops his chain again. Aatrox's cooldown on E locks him in place when he uses Q. So Malzahar's Q silence can be used as a confirmation to stop combos, and his ultimate can be used as a perfect mark in teamfights. Naafiri can get ahead of the poke with her Q, dodge the combo with her E, use Aatrox's third Q, and then punish with a weakly timed W charge. Top Ahri is a champion who relies on a constant barrage of W skills and auto attacks. It's easy to win with sustain and power with Maoki, Nasus, and Mundo. Top Akali is a tricky opponent, but she has a lot of counters. Maoki with Goddess's Tears and follow up with a W auto attack Q combo to win with sustain. Kled can easily beat Akali by rushing in and hitting E and Q, as he can see her stealth. Rengar can also use his jump to put a lot of pressure on Akali, and his ultimate can detect stealth. Naafiri can block Akali's high damage E with her packmates, and her ultimate's shield reduces the chance of being killed by Akali. Akshan's lane fights are notorious, and you need a champion who can stop him from running away with his hook. Maoki, Shen, Malphite, they have good lane survivability, win with tempo, and can't get away with grappling if they're stuck on you. Mordekaiser is also a good choice if you can get him to level 6, and even if Akshan uses his grappling hook, he can lock him down with his ultimate and kill him easily. Countering CC and sustain are key when facing top Alistar. He can be easily countered with CC ignoring Mundo, Olaf, and a sustainable Cho'Gath, Silas. To counter Anivia, you'll want a champion with a dash that can't be stopped by Q stun or W's wall. With Maoki, you can use his W auto attack Q combo on every cooldown to apply sustained pressure, and his ultimate makes it easy to gank. Yone also has a long lane, so he has a lot of angles to gain by charging in. It's harder than you think for melee champions to stop Sol from farming. Naafiri, Briar, and Camille, with their good dash, make it easy. Similarly, top Azir can be easily countered by Naafiri, Maoki, and Mundo, who are strong at ranged mages. Bel'Veth is good at rushing and fleeing, so W Grasp of the Undying Malphite will be a good choice against it. A ranged mudge like Brand is easy with the Naafiri, Mundo, and Olaf. Against Briar, there are ways to dodge or ignore E's knockback, and it's easy if you win the melee fight. Garen is the perfect counter as he can kite with his E, dodge knockback with his movements, and ignore E's damage reduction with the true damage of his ultimate. Singe can fling and just walk away. If Briar follows him, he can run and only Briar will die. Mundo does the same thing. But if you run away and keep hitting him with the knife, Briar is immobilized. Olaf will win if you just fight her. Camille has a surprisingly good top line. Her lane phase is weak, but it's easy to hold up and often wins after one core. Especially since gank response and evasion are fraudulent. Even with the supposedly favorable odds, Camille is not far behind. The most powerful Camille counter is Zac. Zac has better sustain than Camille. If you hit Camille with a slingshot, Q skill her, see her use the hook and get stuck in the wall, and auto attack minions, you can easily and definitively break the hook. Or you can break it with your ultimate. Once you get the hang of this, it's really easy against Camille as Zac, so try it. Alternatively, you can use Shen's W skill to block his auto attacks. You can also use other lane interventions to turn the game in your favor. Cassiopeia is very powerful in the lane phase. She's got a strong ranged game, and she's got a way to stop rushes. It's very tricky because a typical rush champ can get in and still lose the fight. Rengar is the best counter, but the champ difficulty is hard. Olaf and Tryndamere are good, but there are variables, and Cassiopeia has a counter. It's also very advantageous to match up with Xerath. Cassiopeia players have so much movement that it's hard to match up with low-skill Xerath. If you're all low-skilled, I'd recommend Rengar or Xerath. Cho'Gath is strong against tanks, but he does have a weakness. Gwen overpowers with max health % damage. Ornn doesn't overpower, but has a better teamfight contribution. Against Darius, it's important to get through the lane without incident. Ranged is not recommended because of the difficulty. Just farm with Mundo's Bonesaw and you'll win after Heartsteel. During your passive cooldown, Darius will always try to kill you with his flashing grab, so be careful. Malphite with AW Master and Grasp of the Undying and Frozen Heart build. You'll win the fight over time and get a better gank response. Against Mundo, you can either keep pumping out lots of C, like Aatrox, or catch him with his passive ignoring charge ability. Nefiri charges as soon as his Bonesaw is out. In a fight, she's easy to kill because his Saw is blocked by packmates. Gwen, you can just slice him. Kled Q has healing reduction and Mundo can't kill him when he's down, so it's really easy.